I still got a few guys kind of trickling in, so maybe we'll wait just a minute or so. But kind of go through here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and we got enough participants in here that I don't want this to get too chaotic. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody there. I've opened up the chat. So as Coach gets into the presentation here, starts talking drills and some things, definitely use that chat box to type in your questions. I'll kind of record them here, and then we'll rehash some questions at the end if he doesn't get to it or touch on it. But yeah, that'll be kind of the format here. Really excited to, get to share some lacrosse with you guys, and really appreciate Tom coming on here, hopping on and sharing some knowledge for everybody. Obviously, this is a unique time, and I think anytime we can share, with the lacrosse community, I think that's a win-win. Brief introduction, guys. My name is Matt Kimsey. I'm director of lacrosse at Just Play. Came here the last fall. My background's in youth, high school, collegiate lacrosse. Still run a showcase team out of KC. So as I talk to this program and talk with Tom a lot about this, I use this currently. Still got a lot of guys right now, they're doing this and using this to great success. Tom's one of those guys. He's always coming up with a new way to use it and engage his players and connect with his players. So excited to let him show you some of the things that he's doing with it, and how he engages and keeps his players accountable and keeps in contact with them, obviously loving up on them and coaching them even in situations like this. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tom and let him kind of introduce himself. Most of you guys probably know him, but Tom, appreciate you running with this today, and we'll look forward to some knowledge, my man.
Yeah, Matt, appreciate having me on. Obviously, we're in a crazy time. Like, I actually just jumped off camera to make sure my son was doing some homework on his laptop instead of on his iPad. And of course, he was on his iPad. So it's kind of a new time. It's been the one thing I think in these situations, you see such unique things in the coaches and the caring comes out. And, a lot of us on Twitter have been sharing different lacrosse things and reaching out to each other. And, that's been, pretty cool. And I'm a big learn from drill guys, in terms of my concept is every guy on here does a drill that I'm going to see, and I'm going to love what you do, and I'm going to copy it and make it my own. And I'm going to, create my own drills to fit a need that we have. But I think that's one of the cool things about, sports, and especially, lacrosse. There's so much knowledge out there, and we're willing to share it. And here's the reality. I don't need to hide if we run a 1-3-2 counting from back to front. I don't need to hide that from anybody. We're not necessarily going to give you the secret sauce and how we kind of, what our players, the final instructions are, what we're looking for, our reads. But we're going to show you how we do things, how we drill. I open my practices up. We film a lot of practices, put it on social media, because I think it's important, for people to see. It's been great in the recruiting process for recruits to see, contact with high school coaches, other college coaches, reaching out, and I always tell guys, hey, if you use that drill today, use it, see what you think, add some wrinkles and get back to me. And guys come back to me with wrinkles. And, so we just continue. It's this evolution. It's organic. It just keeps growing. So, any chance I can get to talk about lacrosse is exciting. Obviously, right now, many of us are spending all day long on Zoom and FaceTime and Skype and WebEx. We're doing all that stuff. So it's kind of getting used to that realm. But I think for me, I've always tried to be, efficient in how I do things. How can I be more efficient? We don't necessarily have Pace, as the head coach of Pace University, during the school year. And now I'm the head coach at Chesapeake Bayhawks. In the pros, we don't have a lot of face-to-face contact with these guys. We've got to use technology to our advantage. At Pace, I don't have a full-time staff. My guys are part-time GAs. Some of them, I'm excited that they can just get to practice, and because they just came from work and they got to get home to the wife and kids. So you've got to come up with different ways to, touch everybody, to get everybody involved in the process. So, years ago it was, write on a piece of paper, hand that out, handouts. Then it was PowerPoint, OneDrive, Google Drive. There's all these pretty cool, efficient items. The moment I saw Just Play and jumped into this, it's completely changed what I can do and how I do things. I might have days where I'm in a hotel room in Atlanta on a Sunday, and I'm sending an offensive game plan, a scout report to players back in New York at Pace, and they get instant access to their app. So that's really helped me become very efficient. I think as coaches and a lot of us who have wives and kids and different relationships, you don't have, a traditional time. I'm not going to necessarily send something out at 2 p.m. because I'm doing stuff. And obviously, usually you're on the field from 3 to 5. So I might be putting a new offense in at midnight, and then I send it out to my players, and, of course they're up because they stay up very late. So it works out great for them. And then the next day of practice, guys kind of, rehash it with you. We talk about it. So instead of having 20, 30 minutes meetings before practice, which a lot of us don't have time, we're able to cut those down to kind of 5 minutes. And a lot of times I walk in the locker room and we have players who have already put it on the board and they're already going over it because they have access to it right on their phone. So, that's kind of a cool, unique thing about this. So basically I was going to go through, kind of a drill today. Basically I got this drill. I was listening to a podcast with Jamie Monroe, who does all kinds of pretty cool stuff, and talking about some different drills. And in Virginia, Lars was talking about it. So we kind of took it and ran with it. We do different variations of it. The Coquitlam drill is a 4v3 short field drill. We do it a lot in the 5v4 setting, and I'll go over all that in a couple minutes. But before I kind of get started in that, I've kind of been talking to some guys. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you what we've been using with our players at Pace right now, just to get access out to them. Obviously they're all kind of all over the country, different places. So I'm going to send you, I have a lot of info in here, which the players don't have all this because I put a timeline on it and it deletes it pretty quick. But for me, I keep everything up and access to it. But I'm just going to veer us off in this direction for a second. Once I find it. All right. So obviously, we sent our players home. I think it was, I don't know, the March 11th, basically, we sent the players home, and we were on spring break last week. So, I gave them body weight workouts, team workouts. So in here, I just attached, different body weight workouts right here. So they have access to this at home. I've got video over here of guys doing different workouts. So it's just a way to access with them, with the players, instant workouts. My strength coach called me yesterday, said, what workouts do we want to give these guys? And, we've got some guys who have some free weights at home, but the majority of them, it's all body weight workouts. So we're able to provide this to the players, instantly. And, listen, I know you could do PDF and you can do all that and you got to email it. This shows up in an app right in their phone. So it just makes it, very efficient for us.
Great use, Coach. Great use.
We did that also. We also did this with footwork and stuff.
Clearly, Tom does a pretty good job with game plans. Look at all these things, huh?
So here's something we sent to our offensive guys. So it's just basically a week 1 program, footwork, stick work, agility, so they have access. We also have videos in here of different things. So it just gives them some opportunities to have access to it right in their hands. What we have wall ball workouts in there. And there, there's so much technology out there. We feel it's important to utilize it. So it helps us. But that's kind of from that end. At the end, if you have questions, we could talk about it. But I basically wanted to jump in, kind of, we call it our 54 steroids. There's also a 43 version. Part of my problem right now is some of the film I'm using for this stuff right now is a little bit older, because a lot of my film is stuck in my office, which we cannot access. So I'm kind of screwed in that regard. So some of the film I'm putting up, it's actually the first couple times we did these drills. So it's a work in process. It actually is much cleaner now. The guys have, picked up, how to do it now pretty efficiently. But a lot of times we do this in a 5v4 setting. So we basically have a 5v4 at both ends. You've got a 10-second shot. You got 10 seconds to get a shot off, 10 seconds to clear it. You can't cross the midline. So you have blue offense on one side, white offense on the other, and the defense, opposite defense with them. Those guys can't cross the midline. You rotate after a couple of times. You could keep it timed. A lot of times I do it just, 30-second clips. It's really quick. You get balls in and out. Goalie's got to get them out of the cage. I always keep balls on the side, just throwing them in one after another. We're at one side and we go to another side, just working on quick restarts, quick whistles. You can also kind of get some coaching points in here. One day we may say we want the defense to press out, so we're simulating the 10-man ride. We really want the defense to press out hard in the corners, goalie to come out of the cage. Sometimes we want to fake a 10-man. Sometimes we want to be a soft ride. So just give different looks, different opportunities. So it really forces the offense to read and react. They've got to move to get open. They've got to create some passing lanes. They've got to put themselves in good positions. Basically, if you have the ball, get covered, then move it. Off ball, get upfield to the goal. Let the ball do the work. And like I said, we also do this in a 4v3 setting, the Cocoon Drill with the shorter field. I don't have any good film of that. I was looking at the film before. It's pretty messed up. So I had some film of the 54 steroids. So the basic format, we'd have the subs on the side over here. We'll have the coach throwing a ball out to one side, pick it. Sometimes it's a ground ball. Sometimes it's just in the air. Sometimes I throw it to the midline. Sometimes I throw it to the low guy. So basically you'd have 4 guys in blue on one side on offense, 4 guys in, on this one would be 5. Sorry, I'm confusing the drills. You'd have 5 guys on one side, 5 guys in the other, and then 4 guys defensive on each side. What we do defensively is some groups are 4 poles. Some groups are all shorties. Some groups are 2 and 2. We mix it up. And then to change it up, we obviously let our defensemen play offense. Let me just shut this down real quick. We let our defensemen play offense. We make our offensive guys play defense just to give us different looks. We'll drill this and we'll also make it competitive. So the basic format is they're playing 5v4 on one side. They've got 10 seconds to get a shot off. Now with the shot clocks, we have our shot clocks live in practice. We'll put 10 seconds on the board, just hit the button, run it down. If not, you can just, kind of sit there and count 10 seconds. So they play it out, and from a coaching standpoint, you can tell the guys, hey, we want 5 guys above the cage. We want to get in, 2 guys in the crease. We want 1 guy at X. Different things you're working on offensively. You could put them in that set. We like to keep everybody above the cage in this situation because it's short time. We'll go through X if it's got to be quick. But, a 10-second shot clock, and that's once the ball crosses the midline, they've got 10 seconds to get a shot off. I blow the whistle, it's going back the other way. We're clearing it the other way. So it's a quick-hitting, fast-paced drill. But from an offensive perspective, you're putting your guys in certain sets. You're telling them what to do. the reads they're looking for, the situation they're looking for. And then a lot of times you're letting them play. They've got to make some quick decisions. Same thing defensively. You know, are we rotating? Are we scraping? Are we holding, scraping, holding, and playing the pass? Are we pushing out hard? Are we trying to take the ball away? You know, we cover every situation we can think of. So this becomes an unsettled drill, but then it also becomes the base of our settled offense, the base of our settled defense. It becomes a 10-man ride and clearing drill. It becomes an end-of-game situation. You know, that's what I love. It's one of my favorite drills just because we can cover every single basis of how we want to play lacrosse. So M2's got the ball. He takes a shot. Of course, the middy's going to shoot from the restraining line. No bad shot in his mind. Then you've got the red defenders. They've got to break out. You know, they'll get to their clearing spots. You could also work on your set clear. We like to get guys low. So he's breaking out. D1's breaking up field. M3's breaking up field. M2's breaking out, going up field. Goalie's got to make the right decision. It's a great opportunity for him to read. Sometimes he pump fakes and he can throw it deep if A1's screaming for it because the goalie's out. He clears it up. And then obviously we said you got 10 seconds to shoot, 10 seconds to clear it, get it to the other side, then they have 10 seconds to get the shot off. So it's a pretty simple drill, and that's what I love about it. It's pretty simple to kind of play it and explain it, but what makes it complex is the wrinkles that you're going to add as a coach, the coaching points that you're looking for, and I think that's so important. You know, having that agenda going into this saying, you know, today's going to be a pressure day. We want the defense to really get out. We want them to stretch out and see the field. We want our offense to see pressure. You know, today we're working on zone defense. So we're going to have these guys, these four guys will get in the box and stay nice and tight. And the offense has got to find seams quickly. You know, part of our zone offense, we always like to attack in the first 10 seconds before they really get set and established, because I do feel that's when they're the most vulnerable. So this drill kind of helps us in those situations. You know, so then they would play it out. And like I said, a lot of times we'll go back and forth about 30 seconds, sometimes a minute. It depends on how many guys you have on your team. We also may say, hey, in my mind, I'm going to give each side 3 balls. And you can get 3 balls a side, honestly, in under a minute. You know, I know the math, you know, if you're a math teacher, it doesn't necessarily add up. But, you know, we're not discounting that the offense may turn it over in 2 seconds. The clearing may turn it over. So then I'll blow the whistle and wholesale sub and kind of get everybody out. But, you know, for me, this is one of the, you know, my favorite drills. I think it's something that the players really like. They really enjoy it. They really like doing it. You know, it gives them some opportunity to kind of freelance in their minds, which is great. Because I think for me, I'm convincing them that they're freelancing, but at the same time, they're kind of executing what we're looking to accomplish as a coaching staff. But there are also times in the game, especially now for us at the college level, you know, with the shot clock, you know, the last you want to do is have guys panic with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. So this gives us the opportunity for these guys to simulate that over and over. So for me, I'm a big, you know, everybody talks about the part, the whole method. We kind of go small parts to big parts. So if, you know, Tuesday's a heavy even day and we're doing a lot of zone offense, zone defense work, we're going to skewer this drill towards that concept. So
hey, Coach.
Great from that. Yes.
Hey, Coach, I got a question from Coach Todd here. Do you allow the extra attackmen to ride or lock off?
Oh yeah, no, it's full bore. So in the clearing, it's 5v5. So these guys have to work. This is full. I mean, these guys, they headhunt, they go after each other. So it's one of those. This is full bore. Everything is full tilt. This is full speed. Offense, defense, rides, clears. It is full speed, full tilt. Attackmen. Honestly, the attackmen love this drill because it's 10 seconds. And they know, all right, got 10 seconds. I can do whatever I want with it. I can throw it behind the back. I can shoot it from 15 yards. It's a drill. And then if I turn it over, I take a bad shot, I'm just going to go slash the piss out of the next defenseman closest to me. So the attackmen probably love this drill more than anybody.
Gotcha.
Any other questions kind of on the format of that while we're –
You're good, Coach.
all right, and then I was going to show some live clips in action of this, just some different situations in a live game where, you know, you can see what we're working on in practice takes place in game situations, how I can kind of capitalize and how your players can become more efficient in their decision making. Because the reality is, with a short time in the clock or 10 seconds left in the quarter, or they pick a ball up and they've got to move it to a spot as quick as possible, I think it's important they know how to do that. So it's a great drill for that. So I'll kind of use some pro film just because it's high quality opportunities. So here we get a situation, you know, Lyle's dodging, drawing a double, which he does. Obviously, you know, off ball, we got to occupy the slide. You know, we want to keep our head up for the open man. All concepts we preach over and over in 54 steroids. He draws the double, steps away, you know, Q cuts that seam, find that seam in the defense, you know, pretty simple. And these are plays that take place over and over in that 54 steroids.
Hey, Coach, I got a question for you from Coach Moses.
Yes, sir.
Just asking, on your repetitions, how often are you doing this in a 4v3 setting versus a 5v4?
We'll kind of pick one or the other. We won't do both in the same day. Now, in the 5v4, we'll typically keep the cages in the crease. When we go 4v3, we move the cages to the restraining line, and we kind of play hash it in. So it's a tighter field, shorter field, it's less guys. And then when we go 4v3, we add we do at pace is 7 seconds. I would recommend it at the high school level. If you're just starting out, I would give them like in 5v4, I'd give them kind of 15 to 20 seconds to start. And as they pick it up, you could, you know, make it faster. With the 4v3, I would give them the 10 to 15 seconds. But with the 4v3, we call it the Cocoon Drill because it's actually a box drill. And, you know, Jamie and some of these guys kind of stole it and moved it into the field. And I picked up on it. Now I've started using it. In the 4v3, we go 7 seconds because restraining line for the college kids is it's quick. They get in and out pretty quick. So we go, you know, 7 seconds in that. But quick reps. You want this to be fast, quick, not a lot of coaching, coach before and after. Here's a situation where kind of a quick whistle, always be ready, cut to an open spot, play fast, quick plays. Just a simple, quick jamming inside. Having that, having the courage. And I think when you do these drills, your players learn, hey, a coach is going to let me make a play if I see a play. And I think you've got to drill that, and we've got to allow them some freedom and flexibility to make plays. Obviously, a little bit easier when you have Steele Stanwyck and Lyle Thompson and Nick Mariano. But, you know, attack the seams in unsettled situations, make a play, jam it in. The play right there is not necessarily a play we want in coaching, but it's a smart play. This is a great play. You know, Lyle, I think, is one of the best riding attackmen to ever play the game. He picks the ball up. You know, everybody gets upfield quickly. You know, always ride, then turn them into positive plays. We want to get upfield right away. You know, not many people can throw a 40, 50-yard skip. But if you look here, you know, from a normal player perspective, a normal player, we'd want to throw it right here to Johnny Wagner, 97, who could go to Q, who can go to Steele. You know, unfortunately, Lyle is not a normal player. He's an elite. Maybe a lot, but, you know, feel free to ask any questions if you have. I would love to hear some questions. Is that Coach Whipple there? For me, like I said, it's one of my favorite drills. And the players love it. They kind of, it's something that, there's some drills you call out and they're kind of, they're like, oh boy, here we go. And then there's some drills you call out and they're fired up. And that's a drill that the guys love to do. They love to get after it, put themselves in situations. And I think too, for us at the college level with the shot clock, my philosophy is, which is different than other people's, but my philosophy is scripted early, freelance late. Scripted early, freelance late. And I think that this is another drill that just kind of incorporate that in different situations. And it's just as a coach, it's a cool and unique experience to watch the players, kind of make it organic and grow with it as they get used to it and as they figure out. But it still allows me to put coaching points in. So in start of those drills, I might say, hey guys, this is what we're trying to accomplish on offense. We're going to pass down, pick down, and, kick it through to the backside in this situation over and over. Great thing about doing this stuff from home is my wife cooking and she just hit her head on the cabinet. So that's pretty funny. So I wish I had that on video. But I just kind of wanted to cover that drill. And I just think, to me, that's the basis of, who I want to be as a coach and who we want to be as a program at Pace and even at the pro level. It's something that we want to consistently, harp on those things. We just don't have a lot of time. The great thing is they don't need a lot of time because they're very good and they can pick up plays pretty quick. But I think for me, it's about giving the players the opportunity and the command presence at the college level to make plays. You saw that play a lot. I'm certainly not going to draw that play up and say, hey, everybody can do this. But that's what makes Lau unique. Everybody else, like I said, we want to go to Johnny Wagner, one more to Q, and then one more to steal on the backside. That would be the standard play. But that's a unique thing. And, there's guys at colleges, guys at your high schools. There's guys that play in your club programs. Your elite guys can make those plays. And I think, give them the opportunity, give them the freedom, and you'll be rewarded with that. But that's kind of what I wanted to cover today. Hopefully you pick something up. I always ask guys, hey, if you use it and you've got a wrinkle or something you add to it, always reach out to me. I love to hear it. I love to hear what guys are doing with different things because you're putting stuff out there. I'm going to implement it and steal something from it. And I think, that's the fun part about what we do and kind of who we are as a, lacrosse is getting bigger, but we're still small enough that we can all stay close and work together to kind of make the game the best version of it possible it can be.
Definitely, Coach. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on and sharing some information with everybody today. Guys watching this obviously love to do this again. Get Tom back or get some other coaches back as well, and do some of these just continuing education. Get this stuff out there for coaches. If anybody wants to connect with Tom or myself, for sure, I'll put my email in the chat, and we can direct you either way. Hopefully, you guys all get to see that, saw some video. If not, we can get you a link and send that to you as well. Okay, fellas? So appreciate the time. Appreciate you guys being on here.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.